Welcome back to Breaking Tech from Vision on TV down at the Open Tech Conference in London today. I'm talking to Paul Makepeace from Google Refine. Now, imagine that you've got all this data and it's coming in all different formats and you just can't make sense of it. It's just not cohering in any way. You've got a solution, haven't you, Paul?
Well, we certainly make life a little easier. So I'm working at Artfinder, and we have a lot of data coming in from galleries, and we need to get that in a form that we can present on the web that makes it easy to discover art and learn more about art and share it with your friends. So we take in spreadsheets, PDFs, web document, Microsoft Word documents, and we use Refine to sort out inconsistencies, spelling mistakes, kind of white space errors, artist names that we've never heard of, artist names we have heard of, and get it in a form that allows us to upload it into our database as easily as we can.
I looked at Artfinder the other day, actually, completely nothing to do with this, and I thought it was terrific. Yeah. What do people have to do? To what extent is this an automated process where you just like throw the software at it, and to what extent is there a manual thing involved?
Well, I think there's a tension between automation and manual, and you can have things in a manual where you're working, for example, in Excel. You would edit a single cell, you'd make the change, and then you'd be proud of yourself for editing that one cell. Whereas what Google Refine does is it allows you to both explore the data in a very quick, interactive way, but also make changes to many cells at once. So, for example, if you wanted to trim the white space off a column, you could do that in one operation. Or you could say, I want to look for two words that are close together and perform some other operation on that. So there's an exploration aspect to it that's obviously manual, and fixing it's manual as well. But I don't think you would call it manual in the sense of going line by line by line by line. So there's an automation assistance to a manual process.
Right. Now, what's the cost of this software and what's its license?
It's free and it's open source.
Marvellous. That's what we love to hear.
Yeah.
So,
but even though it's open source, it's actually very easy to install.
Okay, and that's for me. That's absolutely crucial. Now, so you said you were sort of more or less mobbed after your speech earlier. Why do you think that was?
It was interesting hearing the reaction to some of the things I was demoing. There was this kind of wash over the crowd as we fixed a whole bunch of rows all at once, and found that row to be fixed very quickly. There was a demonstration where we were able to slice the data in two different ways and showed there was a big disparity in ethnicity in a particular state of elected officials. And I think that was something that was in a sense quite shocking, that you could do that so easily with a piece of software that you can download, upload a spreadsheet and get that information literally in the space of about a minute.
Mm-hmm. Have you got any other examples of the uses of Refine?
Yeah, so we get artist names in for Artfinder, and they can be spelt in a whole bunch of different ways. You can have last name, comma first name. You could have first name, last name. It could be a whole name is missing. It's just the first name or just the last name. And we have what's called a reconciliation service. So what that says is it says, look at all the unique entries in this column and try and match that against the database. So we have a search engine effectively that scores the match. So it gives a number from 0 to 1. If it's 1, it's like, yep, definitely think it's that artist. If it's 0.8, it's kind of sure. Mm-hmm. If it's 0.1, it's like, well, not really sure, but maybe this might work. And then it'll automatically match a collection of them, and then it'll provide options for the ones it's not too sure about. And then it'll quite honestly say, flat out, never seen this artist, no idea what it is.
So I guess this is for people to get hold of this. It's Google Refine in Google.
Yep.
And there you go.
Pretty much, open source product. Download, double click. It'll pop up a web browser. You click import project, and you've got this what looks like a spreadsheet. And there are a couple of videos online that show how to use it. There's a very, very friendly mailing list, and there's even software that will allow you to talk to Refine through a script as well.
Why are Google doing this?
They are all about cleaning up data. So there's a project called Freebase, which is sort of like a semantic Wikipedia, I suppose. And there was a product cut out of Freebase called GridWorks that was used to allow people to upload their own data sets into Freebase. So in a sense, in Wikipedia you would create a single page, write it, submit it, make another page, write it, submit it. With Freebase, you can say, here's a whole data set that might have 50,000 rows, and you can upload that whole thing at once. But in order to do that, you need to make it fit with the Freebase schema. So Freebase has its own idea of how the world works, and you need a piece of software that will do that. And that's essentially what Refine is, and then Google took it and have enhanced it to where it is now.
Okay, Paul, thank you very much.
Great, thanks.
I'll be back with another show soon.